We share everything, including your husband. I had always trusted them. So they had been friends since before I even met Jake, and they both swore to me that it had always been platonic. Always. Always. And I never had a problem with it. The only thing that used to annoy me was when they'd arranged to meet up. It would always fall on the days that I was working late, but I never thought anything into it because I always got invited regardless, even if I couldn't go. And so over time, she became a huge part of my life as well, and eventually ended up my maid of honour because she was a good friend to both of us, and it just made sense. So then we get to the morning of my wedding. She shows up already drunk, with a half-empty bottle of champagne swinging from her hands. I didn't mind at the time. It's just nerves. Everyone gets nervous walking down the aisle, whether you're the bride or the bridesmaid. It's fine. And plus, we were all having a drink. We were all celebrating until she told me something that made my stomach turn. She said to me, "You know, it's really because of me that you and Jake are together." What? She went on to tell me that they were FUCK buddies until after I had met him. She said if she had wanted more, she could have had him, but she decided to step aside and let me have him. How kind. The words that she used, the words that I heard as I walked down the aisle to my husband, it was just easy with us. We just were. I can't unhear them. So after that fun little speech on the morning of my wedding, she laughed everything off, treated it as a big joke, and even said, "We're even closer now. We share everything, including your husband." Mind you, this was minutes before I was walking down the aisle. Obviously, I wanted to back out. Every fibre in my being was screaming at me to back out of this marriage. My parents had spent so much money. We had people who had flown over to watch this wedding, to see us and support us in our marriage. How could I let these people down? So I walked down the aisle with her as my maid of honour. So here I am, 2 days post-wedding, and I feel like I've just spent these 2 days standing still while everybody moves around me. I haven't yet brought it up to my husband, as we constantly have people around us. We've not had a minute to ourselves since we got married. And we go on our honeymoon tomorrow. I cannot get on that plane with him tomorrow without addressing this issue, without getting to the bottom, getting his side of the story and getting the truth. I've just got tonight and I don't even know where to start with him. Why did he keep it from me in the first place? And why did he let me make her my maid of honour? Why did he let me walk down the aisle with somebody who he's been in bed with? But I do know one thing for sure. If by some miracle he and I work things out, she cannot be in our lives anymore. And if he refuses to cut her out of his life, well then at least I have my answer. Update pending. I'm sorry it's taken so long for an update. I just wanted to get all of the information before I got back to you, and honestly, it did not go the way I expected. So the night before our honeymoon, I confronted my husband. It was the first time we'd been alone since the wedding, and I confronted him about our best friend telling me that they had been FUCK buddies and were still sleeping together up until after I had met him. His reaction? Confusion. Pure, genuine, wide-eyed, what the hell are you talking about? Confusion. He told me they had never been intimate. They hadn't even kissed. It had always been completely platonic, at least on his side. I was just staring at him, searching for anything. Hesitation, guilt, anything that might hint at a lie. But there was nothing. He was just as blindsided as what I was. So I told him I wanted us to confront her together when we got home from the honeymoon. And to my relief, he agreed. So that's exactly what we did. 2 days after we got home, he invited her round and we confronted her together as a team. I was scared. I was scared at what was going to come out because one of them was lying. Let me tell you, This girl crumbled in front of my eyes. She had every excuse in the book. First of all, she actually tried to say that it was a joke. Neither of us were laughing. Then she went on to say it was the alcohol. She kept repeating, drunk humour is different to sober humour. What the fuck does that even mean? When I'm drunk, I want to try and ruin your life, but when I'm sober, I won't. I asked her what her motive was, and she says there wasn't one. She just kept crying. And honestly, I found every tear insulting. I was the one who should be crying. I was the one who spent my wedding day, a day that I will never get back, thinking that my husband had lied to me for 9 years. Him, on the other hand, was happy to just let this go, put it down to a weird, drunken mistake, and let it go. He did say he was going to take a step back from her because clearly there are feelings on her side. But as far as dropping her as a friend altogether, he's not willing to do, because he hasn't done anything wrong. And dropping a lifelong friend just seems a bit extreme for a drunken mistake. And now I'm so conflicted, because my husband didn't actually do anything wrong. But how can I move forward with a man who just sees this as some silly comment, when to me it feels like so much more? To me it feels like it could have ruined our lives together. And now I can't help but wonder, if it was somebody else who made that silly comment, would he have been as lenient?